There's one, Bob.
All right.
Pulling pretty good. They always pull good when they're down there.
Yeah. You need the net balls?
I don't know. We'll see. Got some good head shakes. There you go. I think so. I think this is a netter.
Okay.
Feeling pretty good.
Oh, ooh, looks like a nice one, Steve.
Might be. I got two fish.
Oh.
I've got a sea bass and a fluke. I'll lift them up.
Okay. All right.
How's that for a double header?
Oh, gosh. Flounder fishing, sea bass fishing, deep water fishing off the Jersey coast. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good one.
All right. Yeah. Sea bass and Mr. Fluke. Here. I'm predicting a sea bass, maybe a little fluke. He's got another hit, 60 feet of water, 65 feet of water.
We're out on the Jersey coast.
Yeah, fluke.
And then we're deep water fluke fishing. This is a little different than what you usually see us doing because we're usually in the back bay fluking.
Yeah.
But now we're out here, it's late summer, I would say.
Yeah, yep, late summer.
And we're out here off of a reef, man-made reef, and we're catching. Steve, tell us about the reef stuff.
Well, we're actually fishing a reef, but it's not like you picture one reef. It's like a pile of rocks or a bunch of ships in one spot. This reef is probably about 4 miles long. It's about a ½ mile wide. And what it is, it's a lot of small individual structures. You got rock piles, there's barges, there's actual shipwrecks, there's some big metal tanks. And what we're doing is we're fishing around those structures. We're going to lose some jigs and stuff like that, but we're going to catch some fluke.
All right. Now, that's a nice one.
Yep, let's get back to fishing. Yep. Feeling some head shakes, so it's probably a fluke.
Tell me if you need the net, boss.
Yeah. Nah, I don't think so.
No.
Pulling pretty good. I can always get the net if I need it.
Okay.
Or if I lose them, I can just blame you.
Yeah, I should have got the net.
Let's see, what do we got here?
Yep, another fluke.
Not a terrible size one.
Yeah. Now, Steve,
You know?
just talk a little bit about the rig what we got here now. It's what do we call a high-low rig?
High-low rig.
Okay. Now that fish got it on the high side.
Right.
But the other fish we were catching got it on the low rig. Does that tell us anything, or is it just?
It tells us they're biting one or the other right now.
Yeah.
If we find that they have a real preference for one rig, what we'll do is we'll fish that. You know, we might put more emphasis on the high. But for right now, we've caught them on both, so it really doesn't tell us that much. But the big thing is, we know, I'm going to measure this fish because he might be a keeper. You got the drain plug, Bob.
Yeah.
Don't pull the drain plug out, man. We'll be dry. That's it. Just put your...
I got it.
Yep. And that's why we're catching the fish.
Right.
We're on wrecks. We're going to lose some jigs. We're going to lose some rigs.
Yeah.
But we're also going to catch some nice fluke.
Right. And that's the thing. If you're afraid to lose the jigs,
Yeah, you shouldn't be here.
you shouldn't come out here.
It keeps the tackle shops going really good.
Yeah, that's for
But,
sure.
well, you know what? I'm going to measure this guy and see if we put him in a box.
Okay, you go ahead and do that.
All right.
I'll get out of
Can I
here.
grab my rod and fish?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you will.
Yeah. Well, over a piece of structure there, you got tied up.
I got broke off, and you got the good bite this time.
Yeah.
Feel pretty decent?
Well, this is a little lighter rod, so, but at least we got a fish coming in here.
Yep.
That's the thing, you know, again, you're drifting over these wrecks and the stuff that's under there.
Right.
You're gonna.
And you don't know whether it's wood or rock or metal.
Yeah, you know.
It could be anything.
And like you said, this stuff holds a variety of fish.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's a fluke. Let me grab them here for you.
There you go.
There we go.
Nice one. Steve, well, go ahead and take that off. If you can take a fish off and talk at the same time. Talk about the drift that we're having here and what's going on with it.
Well, the drift is really important.
That's a nice pretty fish.
Sure he is. Look at all those nice colors.
Yeah.
But the drift is really important, Bob. What happens is you always hear people complaining, well, I went fluke fishing today and there was no drift. Or it was too much drift.
Right.
Well, the drift is the speed that the boat covers the bottom territory. A slow drift would be 0.2 of a mile per hour, 0.2 of a knot. That's a really slow drift. But a quick drift would be a knot and a half, 2 knots. You know, that's pretty quick. I like somewhere around 0.7 to 1 knot in the way of a drift. That way you cover a large amount of area and you can tell where the fish are. If you're drifting real slow, your jig is going up and down, but it's in the same spot.
Right.
If the drift is too fast, you have to go to like an 8 or a 10 ounce jig.
Right.
But with a decent drift, what you do is you cover the bottom and you're able to say, wow, there's fish there. Then I'll go to my Lowrance plotter, okay, with my Navionics information on it, and I'll go bink, and I got a waypoint. Now I can go back and I can start my drift in the exact same spot time after time after time.
So it eliminates running around, but
exactly.
And the drifts that you do get are pretty. Once they start catching fish, you know that that's the line they're in, and
exactly.
Just go back and forth and back and forth.
Yep.
Now, let's just talk again about the wind and how it affects the drift.
Right.
Direction-wise and speed-wise.
Right. Well, as you can probably tell by the way we're rocking back and forth, we've got a pretty good wind right now. We've got about an 18 knot west wind. Now, everybody says the fishing's the best when the wind comes from the west. For fluke fishing, that's really true, because west and northwest, they make you drift offshore. Other wind directions either bring in cold water, like a south wind, it'll sometimes shut off the fluke in this area, or an east wind will blow you up on shore, especially when you're fishing close to the beach.
Right, and we are fishing right off the beach here, basically. We're about, what, 3 miles off the beach?
Yeah, we're about 3 miles off the beach.
So you really don't have to go far to catch these fish.
Oh, no, not at all. And there's 18, 19-foot boats out here today.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't need a great big boat.
No.
Some decent electronics, a GPS, something we can save a waypoint, a half-decent depth finder, we can tell how deep you are, and that's about it.
Well, you tie up again, I'm going back in.
Okay, I need a new rig again.
Oh, he pulled down one, that's good.
Yep. You know what, on this light tackle.
I know we were talking about it before. I have a spinning rod here, Stephen. You have a conventional rod.
Right.
And I know out here, since you guide out for your charter out here, I know you prefer these spinning rods for your trips.
Yeah, they are the easiest for people to use. And it's not a bad fish.
Yeah. I'll let you get this. Well, you prefer the conventional.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm going to toss this one right in this bucket of water, because I think you're going to need the net.
Yeah, it might be.
I like the conventional personally. I feel like I have a little better control over the fish. But for people that are beginners, and for a lot of people who fish a lot, spinning tackle's really easy to use.
Yep.
I think you got a nice one here, Bob.
Oh, it's just a lot of fun out here with this. I mean, really, if you're out here with this, and this, I would call it this light tackle, but it's got some backbone on the rod and stuff.
And the big thing is, when we're doing these drifts, okay, we want to let the fish. I don't know that he's that big, but he's mean. When we're doing these drifts, we're using 4 and 6 ounce, up to 6 ounce jigs. But most of the time, we're using something around the 3 ounce range. Look at this guy flop around.
I'm telling you, he was a strong one.
I thought you had a halibut. But what's really important, and especially on a day like today where it doesn't seem like they're getting the jig right away, is you're letting the fish have it and hold on to it.
Because a lot of times what you're feeling, and we call it a sunny bite, where the tap,
Right.
tap, 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 tap. And you got to let them keep tapping, or else you're just going to keep pulling it away from them.
Right. So basically what you do is you feel that tap or that grab, and what you want to do, nice fish, is,
He's just laying on the bottom like that.
is what you're doing is you're feeling a bite, and you're going to point the rod tip down toward the fish, and you're going to let the fish pull the rod tip down. You'll feel it tight. You won't feel tap, 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 tap. A lot of times that's a sea bass or a sea robin or something, but you feel a good strong pull. You set the hook like you did, and now here's the important thing. You don't want to give the fish any slack. You don't have to pull on them like crazy,
Right.
but you don't want to let the fish have any slack because they come unhooked easy. The other thing is, when you brought this fish up to the boat, you didn't pull him out of the water.
Right.
When you pull a fluke out of the water, the first thing you want to do is shake your head like crazy. That's when a lot of fish are lost. So what you want to do is keep the line tight, bring them up nice and easy, get them to the boat, and that way you can either sling them over the side like I did, or net them.
Right. Right. And it's important to have a big net with a long handle rather than trying to reach out there with a trout net.
I'd much rather have too big a net than too little a net.
That's true.
You know what? You should take this up front and measure. I think that's a keeper.
Okay. Let me see if I can get my...
And I'll take care of my fish, and then we'll get fishing again.
All right. I think we got a keeper. What do we got here? 17 and a half.
This one's got some pull. Boy, bringing these fish up from way down deep, you can really feel them.
Now, what do you consider like the optimal depth out here, Steve, if we're looking for an area off the
You
wrecks?
know what, Bob? It changes. I'm worried that this is a skate.
Okay.
I don't feel any head shakes. It's a skate.
Yep.
There's an interesting looking creature.
Yep. You know, Steve, while we got the skate on there, why don't we just talk a little bit about the different species of fish that we have out here?
Right. Well, for one, we have the fluke that we catch out here. But as you can see, we've got a skate.
And look at that.
Crikey, look at that guy.
Look at the back.
Watch his stinger.
He's got some.
Yeah. It's like sandpaper on his back. So anyhow, we've got skates, sea robins, sea bass. We've caught window panes, which is a sundial. It's like a fluke but real thin. And they catch bluefish out here. The other day we had sharks swimming around the boat. There's all kinds of stuff. The important thing is, with all these different species, you need to know what you can keep
Right.
and what you can't keep.
Right. Now the flounder.
The flounder limit is 5 per person and 17.5 inches.
Okay.
And then the sea bass limit, I believe, is 10 per person and 12.5 inches. Now the thing when you measure sea bass is they have this tail, okay? And they have like a main tail, and then they have these feathers that come off the tail. Real pretty looking tail. Those feathers don't count. Only the main tail counts. So you really have to know the limits, know how to measure the fish. Fish all have to have a closed mouth. You can squeeze their tail together, okay? But, you know what you're catching, be able to identify it, and that way you won't break any laws.
Because they are really strict when you get back to the dock, or even out here, but a lot of times
sure.
they'll just, when you get back to the dock, the ranger's there, and he'll just come over
Right.
and look at you. And you have to keep the fish. You can't fillet them out here, right?
No, you can't fillet them out here.
Okay.
What you can do, if you want to use a, quote, fluke belly strip, you're allowed to strip up the white side of one fluke. But you have to keep that fish. You can't throw him back. He needs to count as part of your limit. And you need to be able to see where the fillet came off of him for the strips you're using.
Okay.
So you can't have a 5-gallon bucket of fluke strips and one fish.
So yeah, because I mean that's an old tried and true method with the fluke belly stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But now
It works great.
with the slot or the size stuff.
Yep.
Not getting another bite.
There you go.
Now actually they dropped the size down, didn't they, Steve?
Yeah, it went from being 18 inches to 17.5. I think it's one less keeper though. I think it used to be 6
6.
and now it's 5. And to tell you the truth, I have a hard time keeping up with it. I have a little cheat sheet that I keep with me, you know, so I know what the laws are. I can check it and stuff and stay within the law. And you know what? There's a lot of times, like we threw back a fish today. It was exactly 17 and a half.
Right.
Okay, we threw it back because that fish, when it dies, is liable to shrink.
Right.
He might have been just legal. The game warden might have said, Bob, you're a TV star. You can keep it.
Right, right.
But then again, he might have just wrote us a ticket if he found us with it.
Right.
So, you know, if you're going to make an error on the side of caution.
Right.
That way, everybody's happy. You have a nice, safe trip. And there's enough fish out here. And you can see the amount of boats that are out here.
Right.
And people are catching fish.
They're all around us.
I mean, it's not gangbusters.
Right.
But we've got 3 keepers, and we haven't been fishing but 2 hours.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You know, and a keeper an hour is a good rate. At the end of the day, if you fish 8 hours, you know, that's 8 keepers.
Now, speaking of keepers, some of these fish out here, the flounder, flounder and fluke are the same thing. So
Right.
let's make sure everybody understands.
Yeah, summer flounder is a fluke.
Right. But weight-wise, you can get some big fish.
Yeah, they catch them out here, 8, 9, 10 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, I think our fish average somewhere between 2.5 and 3.5. The one you caught earlier was 5.
Yeah, right.
You know, so they come in all sizes, shapes, and colors.
Yeah.
We do catch some shorts. We catch, you know, some jumbos. That's the way it goes with fishing. But they all fight good, especially in the deep water.
Yeah, it takes a while to bring them up.
Oh, yeah. You know what the best part is?
What?
I got one nibbling.
Uh-oh, get him.
Eat it. Eat it. There he is. There we go.
I just did put my line down there. Do I have to get the net for you? Or?
I'm a little scared here, Bob. I'm not feeling head shakes again.
Oh, no.
Something tells me I'm rollerblading, maybe ice skating. You know, every now and then you catch a big one. Oh, I think we got to skate. Let's see. Is he going around in? Oh yeah, he's going around in circles. And you know what? You can eat these. There you go.
That's the one you want.
Yeah, another skate.
Yeah.
But all you have to do is.
Does that tell us anything about the fish here? If we start catching skates, like see if we
Well,
start catching sea robin sometimes.
If you're catching all skates, okay, and you're not catching very much in the way of fluke, chances are the water's cold. But when you're catching a lot of fluke and then you're getting skates on top of that, that's really not a sign of anything wrong. The same thing with dogfish. Certain times of the year, you catch a lot of dogfish, sand sharks, some people call them. Same thing, the water's probably cold at that time. But in the middle of the fluke bite in the summer, and because you're fishing deeper water and the deeper water is cooler, then you know you're going to catch some skates. But I got to tell you, some of the biggest fluke I've ever caught have been around skates.
Now, we just said about cold water, warm water. What temperature would you be looking for as far as, I don't know, if it's surface temperature you're going to look for, or you're thinking about what's down 60 feet?
Well, that's it. You're trying to think about what's down 60 feet. And what happens is the surface temperature, and way in there on the beach, that bottom temperature, since it's shallower, warms up a lot faster. Usually the fishing the first week of June or so, you know, when the season's really getting started, you're not fishing as deep. You're fishing 20, maybe 30 feet. But as the water gets warmer, now the surface temperature out here is darn close to 80 degrees, okay?
Right.
It's warm. So by the time you get that 80-degree surface temperature, and then you get the first good storm, it mixes the water up, the bottom temperature comes up, and the fluke that are out here get active. Now my thought is these fluke are always here. Okay, as long as it's fluke season, these fish are here, they're just not active. You're waiting for that right water temperature. And a lot of people say, oh, they're moving out, because I caught them in 30 feet last week and now they're, you know, they're in 60 feet. And I'm saying to myself, they swam that far? You know, they swam a mile.
Right.
My thought is the fish are following the water temperature. So the mass of the fish will be out there, Some fish will naturally go to the beach, some fish will naturally stay deeper, kind of like bass fishing.
Right.
You know, when we freshwater fish, it's one of those things where you say, you know, there's always some fish shallow, there's always some fish deep.
Right.
And I think you have the same thing here, but the big key is the water temperature. When the water temperature out here around these wrecks, around this deeper water, you know, right now we're in 67 feet of water. When the water temperature gets right, the fishing starts.
Just turn on. Now, I got a bite going now.
Look at that.
Yeah. Wintertime, you can come out here, but you can't catch the fluke. But there's people come out here. Well, we saw somebody on a dive boat out here. They dive on the wrecks.
Yeah. Well, you got them.
Yep.
There you go. Oh boy.
Yeah. Ooh.
You're feeling head shakes? Or is he going around in circles?
I don't know yet.
I think you're skating.
I think I'm skating.
And you know what? They're edible too.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, if you take the time to take the skate wings and clean them up and stuff, they're absolutely edible.
Yeah, there's no head shake.
Yeah, no head shakes. You know what though? We caught one the other day, about 5 pounds, no head shakes. The guy thought it was a skate. He got it up next to the boat, and I was diving for the net. So you never know.
But on the colder water, that you can still come out here and catch what, blackfish?
Blackfish.
Now they're in season then, right?
In like November they're in season. Early April they're in season.
Arm's getting tired with this dog. Boys.
Yeah. Well, another sign that it's a fluke will be if he starts going back to the bottom.
Yeah.
But something tells me.
Yeah, I think it's
Something tells me.
It's a skate.
It's a skate. I see him. He's twirling around down there. We've got the skate pattern down.
Yeah. I tell you what though, Steve, it's still a lot of fun.
Sure. They fight good.
Yeah. Now, I have to talk a little bit about what I just lost.
Oh yeah.
As far as what was on there.
Yep.
And what we're using.
Mm-hmm. It's a big part of the secret.
Right. Right.
Let me reach down and grab one.
Go ahead.
Okay. We are fishing, and I affectionately call it a stick of salami, a great big 6-inch gulp grub.
Now you
on the jig head.
Always swear by the gulp jigs, am I correct?
Absolutely. Almost to the point where I will not carry bait. As a matter of fact, a lot of times I don't carry bait, but since we're out here with the camera, you're ready to fish again.
Right.
Since we're out here with the camera, I kind of hedged my bet. I brought some spearing, a little bit of squid strip, stuff like that.
You can use that stuff. I mean,
absolutely. And you'll still catch some fish.
Right. But the gulp seems to be...
Day in and day out, it seems like gulp works magic out here.
And color-wise, I mean, you put a pink and white one on for me there. And I caught that skate on a pink and white.
Right.
But with the color that you like is best is...
For skates, I like pink and white, but chartreuse. Now, Bob, I've caught them on every color that they make. I've caught them on New Penny, which is kind of a brownish color. I've caught them on white. I've caught them on glow. I've caught them on nuclear chicken, which is a green with a red. Chartreuse is one of my favorites, and pink is one of my favorites.
And again, we're not pushing gulp as a product here.
Oh, no.
But now, Steve, we're out here doing this. As a charter captain, you have people coming out. Cost-wise, throwing jigs and losing jigs and gulp is expensive.
It's quite expensive. If you figure it out that your average store-made bucktail in a 4-ounce size is about $6. And we've gone through at least a half dozen of them.
Okay.
Okay? And gulp, the great big 6-inch salami sticks that we're using, well, they're the big gulp grubs, they're like $8 a bag.
Right, and we've gone through.
Yeah.
Now they last pretty long though. I mean,
and they do. Yeah. And you'll catch quite a few fish sometimes on them. And sometimes you'll have a fish take the tail off. It's the nature of the beast.
So again, if you're coming out here, of course the charter captain.
I bring all the stuff.
You bring all the stuff, so it's easy to do it. Just be prepared to lose a few things.
That's it.
I got a bite, I think.
Really? There you go, Bob.
Yeah, he's a better fish. A lot of head shaking going on there.
Yeah. Head shaking's usually a fluke.
Yeah. Now, Steve, I'm bringing this fish in. Woo. Let's talk about the technique that we're using here as far as drifting with the baits and how to let the fish hit the bait. This is a decent fish.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to get the net. net out here.
Yeah, this is a good fish. And
Now
again,
my hands are all slippery, so I might miss them.
uh-oh.
Let's see what you got here.
He ain't coming yet, boss.
Yeah, he's probably a good one.
Now this is
then.
really enjoyable. On this is a little lighter tackle I got here.
Oh yeah.
What do we got? We got what, 60-pound braid on there? What?
You've got 20-pound braid, 25-pound leader, about a 3-ounce jig, and you got a 6.5 medium heavy freshwater rod, and that looks like to be a decent fluke.
Yeah. This is a lot of fun. Oh yeah, that's a decent fish.
Oh yeah.
There you
There
go.
we go. That's definitely a keeper.
Oh, there you go.
That's some fish.
Well, I'll let you take him out. I'll do the talking.
Yeah, you sound a little wore out.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, you got to come down here off the Jersey Shore, deep water jigging in the summertime, and it's really a good experience. I'm out of breath. And you get the great part of having fresh flounder for dinner. Hey,
That's a
I'm
really
Bob
nice
Murray.
fish.
Who are you?
I'm Steve Horvath.
And we're Delaware Valley Outdoors, and we'll see you on the water.
Nice one, Bob.
Yeah.
No doubt that that one's a keeper.
Yep. Oh,
There goes the jig box. Well, nobody's.
I lost it. Yep, I lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more there. See if she's able to get a little lift. Oh, strike one. Well, we're due for a bite with the waves.
Another bite.